UK government has announced that from 2028, it will charge electric car drivers for every mile they drive. The scheme's called EVED or EVED, and if you live in Britain and you own an electric car, it's big news. In fact, even if you don't own an electric car, it's still big news. So, to break it all down, welcome to the big Autotrader EVED Q&A explainerizer. Why is the government introducing EVED? Basically, because they need the cash. One of the big ways the government gets dough from drivers is through fuel duty, a tax of just over 50 pence on every litre of petrol or diesel that you put into your car. Right now, this duty raises around £24 billion a year. Big money, huge money. That is actually £24 billion in pennies, I counted. But there's no fuel duty on electricity. So as more and more cars go electric, the government gets less coin. By 2050, it reckons fuel duty will bring in less than £5 billion, an 80% drop, which means less money for all the stuff paid for by taxes. Fuel duty doesn't just go into fixing potholes and building new roads. No, it helps fund a load of other important stuff like education and health. Whether you think that's right or wrong, that's a debate for a different day. Let's put it this way, less fuel duty means you're even less likely to get that doctor's appointment before next October. And the way the government's decided to claw back this cash is to charge for each mile you drive in your electric car. From April 2028, if you drive an EV on top of whatever it costs you to fill it up with electricity and your road tax, you'll pay an extra 3 pence for each mile you drive. So do 10,000 miles a year and you'll pay 300 quid in EVED. The government says that it's about half the cost of petrol or diesel fuel duty, which works out at around 6 pence per mile on average. Obviously, that depends on your car's MPG, but that's the ballpark. Basically, you're still going to pay less fuel duty in an EV than you would do if you're driving a petrol or diesel car. PS, while I have your attention, here's a little public service announcement. If you've got questions about electric cars, we have answers. We have a special page on the Autotrader website dedicated to telling you about the facts, stats, and figures on EVs. Do you want to know how much they really cost to buy new and used? Or about the running costs? Are they actually greener? Are they a fire risk? Get to know the facts by hitting the link in the pop-up banner or in the link down below. The government's gonna know how many miles you've done because you're gonna tell them. At the start of each year, you'll predict your annual mileage, same as you do with your car insurance, and you'll pay up front. Either in one go or in monthly installments. There we go. Now, at the end of the year, you'll submit your actual mileage, and if it varies from what you predicted, you'll either get a rebate, thank you very much, or you'll have to pay a bit more. Why don't they just charge you at the end of the year instead of upfront? Yeah, they want their cash in the bank. Government got bills to pay too, apparently. Here's a really important bit of the EVED story. It involves no trackers, no black boxes, and no way for the government to know where, when, or how fast you've been driving. Don't confuse EVED with road pricing. Basically, with EVED, the only bit of information the government's getting is your annual mileage reading, which is good news if you're concerned about your privacy. So no, the government is not spying on you, at least not for EV driving reasons. Of course, everyone's not happy. This is Britain. Misery is what we do. But when it comes to EVED, yeah, no, everyone's still not happy. Maybe the biggest criticism of this scheme is surely that it's going to put people off buying EVs. The government's made electric cars a big part of its drive towards net zero, so taxing them seems kind of counterproductive, right? True, if you charge up at home, EVs should still be cheaper than petrol, even after EVED, but public charging, different story. And although they're coming down in costs relatively, EVs still cost a bit more to buy upfront than ICE cars. If the goal is getting people into electric cars, adding extra costs won't help. It's not so much carrot and stick, it's kind of like charging people to eat the carrot and then hitting them with a stick anyway. The government says to encourage uptake, it will reinvest some EVED revenue into things like electric car grants and raising the luxury tax threshold on EVs, which is great and everything, but Isn't it a bit like punching someone in the face and then offering them a lift to A&E? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. When it comes to EVED, PHEVs are, TBF, a headache. Plug-in hybrids can be plugged into the mains, but they also can be filled up with hydrocarbon juice. So what's the government gonna do? Make you painstakingly record exactly how many miles you've done on petrol and how much on electric? No, that would be insane. What they are gonna do instead is charge plug-in hybrids at 1.5 pence per mile. Surprisingly sturdy, these things. Anyway, plug-in hybrids will pay half the full EV rate based on the assumption you'll do about half your miles on electricity. You want to game the system? Well, you could buy a plug-in hybrid and only run it on electricity. Save yourself £1.50 for every 100 miles you do. Probably more hassle than it's worth though. So, what's the score with foreign motoring? After all, you paid the government for, let's say, 5,000 miles of EV driving. What if you end up doing half of those miles on the continent and half of them in the UK? You're doing a summer road trip abroad. Can you claim back your 75 quid from the man as travel expenses? No, you can't. In your British registered EV, it doesn't matter whether you've done stout, upstanding British miles or suspicious foreign miles on the wrong side of the road. No, you're still paying the British taxman for the whole lot. Happy holidays. A major worry is that EVED will give an extra incentive for winding back or freezing your odometer, clocking as it's known. A recent survey showed there are more than 2% of UK cars currently that show signs of clocking. It's not legal, but it's happening. There are companies out there selling mail order mileage blockers, or they'll come round and freeze your mileage for you. And won't that make the problem worse? Well, the government says it's considering options to combat mileage fraud, but it's not clear what those options are. Maybe some bloke from the council following you around with a tape measure. In conclusion, no, EVED is not perfect. It's got issues to iron out, but I think it could have been a whole lot worse. It's not insanely complicated. It doesn't create privacy nightmares. Yeah, it's going to cost EV drivers a bit more. We've got to pay to fill those potholes somehow, and EV owners have been getting away without paying that tax for a while now. And here's the thing, EVED, it's not locked down yet. The government admits it still needs some help to figure out all the details. They want to hear what you think, and they actually seem to mean it, so tell them. The EVED consultation is open until the end of March this year. So if you've got thoughts on the scheme, hit the link down below to let the man know. Right, better save these up. Running an EV just got a little bit more expensive. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, as usual, and I'll see you on the next one.